Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Zaki, and pushing this word with true sincerity, with charity. And I want to go into a lesson basically about the doctrine, man. You know, the doctrine is everything, man. You know, I remember when I first came into the truth, when I first basically woke up to I was an Israelite. You know, I had the mentality that you know, it was all about Israel, the nation of Israel, and I was just all about Israel. And I remember my elder brother, Saint Benji, Retaza Wanya, from out here in Great Millstone, Chicago. When I first met the camp, you know, that brother told me that, you know, it's all about the elect. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the elect. You know what I mean? And the elect are going to have a certain doctrine. And it was that, you know, that time that, you know, I realized, you know, I heard about the 2/3 and I knew there was a separation, but it never was really that defined with me. You know what I mean? You know, I was just figured like, you know, 2/3 just a nigga that just don't get the truth, or just a nigga with his pants hanging off his ass or something like that, you know. But really, there's men that, as the scripture says, there's many unruly and vain talkers, especially they of the circumcision. I was not aware that there was men who knew that they were Israelites, who called themselves teachers and basically taught out the Bible, that basically were wicked. You know what I mean? That had a different agenda. You know what I mean? You know, matter of fact, let me get a scripture on that. You know, right. This is Malachi 3:18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not. All right. So when you return, you know, when you come into this truth, you know, and the Yahweh Bashim Yahshua starts supping with you, then you realize what your job is, which is to, as the scripture says, to separate the holy from the profane, to separate what's the clean from the unclean. You know, that's the job of a priest, man. You know, and you know, it was a lot that I didn't know. You know what I mean? But now, you know, that I have that understanding, you know, and that we have that understanding. It is on us to discern who's preaching the right gospel and who's not preaching the right gospel. Okay, and for those who let me go over those who are not preaching the right gospel, you know, as scripture says, mark them that cause division, man, and offenses contrary to the gospel. You know, damnable heresies, man. You know, things that, you know, aren't a part of the of what the Lord is has laid down. All right. It tells you that in Revelations, the 22nd chapter, man, if anybody add to this book, or anybody takes away from this book, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will add to him the curses that are in the book, you know. So, and the plagues, the plagues that are in this book, all right? But this is Galatians 1 and 8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Let him be accursed, right? And the reason why we're so adamant, man, is because, hey, we're like those dogs, man. And we bark when someone is trying to harm the sheep. Matter of fact, let me get scripture on that. All right, let me get a scripture on that. Right. Right. This is Philippians 1 and 15. Some indeed preach Hamashiach, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill. All right. You know, so you got some guys that are preaching of envy and strife, man. Okay, or trying to, or any other alternate motive than, you know, just wanting to please Yahweh Shem Shad and get in his good graces, man. That's why we preach this word, man. You know, the scripture says, woe is me if I preach not the gospel. You know, gospel being good news, which is this is the good news, you know, that we are not going to always be at the bottom, that Yahweh Shai is mediating for us, that we have a chance to be reconciled back with the Father, okay? The one preached a Mashiach of contention, not sincerely, right? So you're gonna see men that preach just to be contentious for whatever reason, you know, supposing to add affliction to my bonds, but the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Okay. So we're set for the defense of the gospel. As the scripture says, strive for the truth unto death, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua will fight for thee. Okay. So, you know, this is, if you're speaking something, you know, if you're speaking perverseness, man, and you're trying to feed that to the sheep, man, then we have to be those shepherds, man. We have to be those guard dogs, those watchdogs to and to sound the alarm, man. Okay. You know, because in fact, let me get another scripture. I believe it's in Malachi or Micah. Actually, I believe it's in Micah. Right, Micah, right. This is Micah 3 and 1. And I said, hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Right? Is it not for you to judge what is suitable, man? You know, because our words, just, you know, what we do is a sacrifice, you know, and we got to have that right sacrifice, man. You know, you got to really check your intent. You know what I'm saying? Why you're doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing, you know, whatever you say, like, you know, it has to be lining up with what we're reading, man. All right. Who hate the good and love the evil, and pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones. Okay. And if you're right, and if you are giving people false doctrine and leading them, which is leading them astray, leading them down the path of death, then Yahweh Bashim Shai looks at you like you're devouring these people, man. Like you are a spiritual cannibal. Okay? Like you are a spiritual cannibal. You know, that's a very defining point in this lesson. I might just name the title of this. You know, yeah, you're pretty much a spiritual cannibal. The Lord looks at you like you're a Jeffrey Dahmer or some shit, man. You know, you're running around chopping up people and eating them, man. You know, but who also eat the flesh of my people, right? That doesn't mean that they're literally physically eating you. It's just that they're spiritually devouring you, man. You know. All right. Scriptures talk about the awakening to this truth is like the resurrection of a dead body. Okay. Now you can have the body, like the flesh comes together, you know what I mean, and it's fixed. And that's just you knowing that you're an Israelite. But then you got to have that breath of life. Otherwise, you're just an intact body that's not alive. Okay. Which is what a lot of these, which is basically make up the majority of people that know that they're Israelites. You know, they just know that they're Israelites. That's it. As far as it comes to the doctrine or that they don't have it. You know, then they're going in all type of directions, man. It's like a shattered glass, like different shards everywhere, man. You know, try putting that back together. You know, only one who could put that back together is Yahweh Bashim Shai. Hey, it says in the book of Job that he buildeth and he teareth down and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man and there can be no opening, man. So once the Lord destroys something, he's the only one that can fix it. Which cuts, you know, the ISPK, what they be saying about how they here to fix black people. You can't fix, first of all, we not black people. There's no such a thing as black people. And you can't fix what Yahweh Bashim Shai has destroyed and or made crooked. You know, and Yahweh Bashim Shai has shattered this nation. As the scripture says, are you not in my hand as a pot? I believe that's either in Jeremiah or Isaiah. You know, you could look that up. But he says, "Are not thou in my hand as a pot?" No, you're like an earthen vessel in the hand of Yahweh Bashim Shai at the end of the day. And he can do with you what he will. He can shatter you or he can exalt you. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, as a nation, we've been shattered. But Yahweh Bashim Shai has the power to put us back together. And that's what this awakening is. You know what I mean? But as this body's trying to come together, you have people that are dissimulating it. They're ripping it up, you know, who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them. And they break their bones and chop them in pieces as for the pot, as flesh within the cauldron. So the Lord's looking at you like you a damn witch or something, man. You know, witches got what they call a witch's brew or a cauldron, and they just throw all type of shit in it, man, and do incantations and, you know what I'm saying, wicked, you know, summoning demons and just spells and shit, man. You know, and that's what the Lord looks at you like when you're feeding people false doctrine, okay? Then shall they cry unto Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves in all their doing. So Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to destroy those that are being spiritual cannibals, man. You know? All right. So, hey, I hope this lesson was edifying. You know, shalom.